Okay, guys, get ready.
Hi, this is Rex. Welcome to... Hey, stop. That's not the theme to Petong Points podcast. That's the theme to another of my podcasts called Sound Bits. Actually, you can find all my podcasts and voiceover samples as well as an excellent photo of me at my website, universalexports.co. That's .co, C-O, not .com. Sorry, Serge, I'll have to ask you to call the troops together again. Oh, for those that don't know, Serge is the president at Dove Petong Club at Doveton in Victoria, Australia. Okay, let's try again. Go, Serge.
Okay, guys, get ready.
Hi, this is Rex. Welcome to episode 26 of Petong Points podcast. This time we have items on coaching history in Australia. What's happening in a part of Tas? And why should you go to Bellarine? Some info on the SIA, and why is a tiny island between Samoa and Fiji important to Petong? And there is more. Look out for the dad jokes. Here is an article I came across very recently and found it to be of great interest. I hope you do too. Coaching in Australian Petong. Since the formation of Petong Australia, now known as Petong Federation Australia, PFA, in 1986, the sport of Petong in Australia has witnessed significant growth and development. Officially affiliated with the Fédération Internationale de Petong et Jeux Provençal, FIPJP, in 1990, the advancement of coaching within the Australian Petong community has been largely due to the efforts of the PFA and its collaboration with international bodies. Key milestones in the development of coaching. A pivotal moment in the establishment of Australian Petong coaching occurred in 2005 when the FIPJ Technical Director Victor Duff was invited to conduct a coaching seminar at the St Kilda Petong Club. This seminar, organised by the PFA board, was supported by the FIPJP, which funded the airfare, while the PFA covered the accommodation expenses. This marked the beginning of Australia's alignment with the international coaching standards of the FIPJP. In 2007, further progress was made with the return of Victor Nataf and Claude Ralou, Director of the Centre International d'Enseignement de Petong, CIEP, to conduct a workshop during the Trans-Tasman competition. This workshop, also facilitated by the PFA board, played a crucial role in establishing the Australian branch of the CIEP, further embedding international coaching practices in the national coaching framework. Prominent national coaches. Several distinguished individuals have contributed significantly to the development of Petong coaching in Australia, serving as national coaches and selectors. Alan Irwin, New South Wales. Alan was instrumental in organising numerous coaching workshops, including a landmark event at the Newcastle Sports Institute, which saw participation from approximately 15 coaches from across Australia. Alan also served as a team selector and coach at the World Championships. Warren Souter. Warren played a major role in coach training and authored some of Australia's most effective coaching materials. His efforts were acknowledged when FIPJ President Claude Azima awarded him the FIPJP Medal of Recognition at the Pan-Pacific event at Floreal Petong Club, Sydney. Warren also led numerous international competitions as the head coach. Jean-Francois Vessière, appointed national coach and team selector on several occasions, Jean-Francois conducted coaching workshops and served as head coach for multiple international events. Patrick Dufresne. As Australia's most senior coach, Patrick achieved the prestigious CIEP Level 3 International Coaching Certification. Assessed during the Women's World Championship in China and having trained in France, Patrick has qualified numerous coaches in Australia to CIEP levels 1 and 2. He has also coached Australian national teams at World and Oceania Championships. Adrian Clements. Currently serving as the national coach, Adrian has represented Australia in various international competitions, including the World, Asia and Oceania Championships. He continues to lead coaching workshops and plays a vital role in the ongoing development of Australian coaches. Contributors to coaching. In addition to the national coaches, several other individuals have made notable contributions to coaching and the broader development of petanque in Australia. Pierre Figon from New South Wales, a long-serving state coach and selector, Pierre earned a reputation for his fairness and skill, gaining the respect of players and officials alike. Terry Dando, Tasmania. As a national selector, umpire and coach, Terry has been a driving force in the development of the sport in Tasmania. Gerard Finet from Victoria. Gerard's dual role as coach and coaching administrator contributed significantly to Australia's success at the Junior World Championships in China, where the team secured a silver medal in the Nations Cup. Tim Wingland, South Australia. As CIEP Level 2 coach, Tim has been a valuable contributor to the coaching community. Lindsay Kinghorn from Victoria. Lindsay has been active at both the state and international levels in recent years. Michael Lacasse from Victoria. Serving as state coach, Michael has attended workshops in Victoria and contributed consistently to the coaching scene. Umpiring and coaching integration. Most coaches in Australia also held umpiring qualifications, ensuring that they were equipped to convey the correct rules to new players. This dual qualification was essential for providing well-rounded training to players and ensuring the smooth conduct of competitions. Additionally, coaches and umpires were required to hold working with children certificates, further enhancing their ability to contribute to youth development in the sport. Conclusion. The evolution of coaching in Australian petanque has been marked by significant achievements, driven by the passion and dedication of numerous individuals. However, it is disheartening to note that the recent departure of many qualified coaches and umpires over the past 3 or 4 years. Their expertise and commitment are greatly missed, and their absence has undoubtedly impacted the sport. It is hoped that future efforts will continue to build on their legacy, ensuring the continued growth and success of petanque in Australia. That article was authored and copyrighted by André Dermont. How about a sun-kissed laze on golden beaches? Then pick the energy up a tick in the pounding surf. Or pedal lush peninsula rail trails and make excellent friends with the grape at classy cellar doors. Revitalise with some contemporary and urban art. All this you can do on the Bellarine Peninsula. But an even better reason is to visit the Queenscliff Bowls Tennis and Croquet Club, where the Bellarine Peninsula Petanque Club is celebrating their 20th anniversary. President Bernard Reid and his team will be there to welcome you. Bernard is a foundation member of the club. BPPC essentially was a club that was based around his extended family and their friendship network, and has been sustained over the years by that support base. Here's Bernard to tell us more about the celebrations and competition. The Bellarine Peninsula Petanque Club has had a pretty exciting year this year for what's already happened and what's coming up and happening. So what has happened this year and why is it important, Bernard?
So the main thing that has happened this year is that we have moved from where we used to play at the Queenscliff Lonsdale Yacht Club car park and had a lot of competition with cars and yachts and boats and things, to the grounds of the Queenscliff Bowls a tennis and croquet club in Queenscliff, and with the assistance of that club, build a new petanque terrain, which has 11 pists on it.
Fantastic.
And doesn't have any cars driving on it or boats being pushed over it. So that's the main thing.
And this is going to be your permanent home from now on?
Yeah. We've been looking for somewhere for 20 years. Nice to finally get somewhere that was sort of logical in a place where the club started.
And you've had a few changes of location over the last 20-odd years or so.
Petanque was played close to where I lived, so the club sort of went with me a little bit. But yeah, we played in nurseries, cafes, and over a place called Harvest the Moon, which we used to own and run as a wedding venue for family. And then we moved back to the yacht club, and now we're finally back in Queenscliff where we all started again.
And speaking of where you all started, how did you start and why did you start?
Well, one of the main catalysts was my brother was a chef in Geelong, and he had some friends who were members of Alliance Française, sort of expat French social club.
Yep.
One of the guys there gave him a whole set of boules that he didn't have any use for and said, here, you try this game, So our family sort of threw them around for a little bit. And then not long after that, the Victorian Petanque League, I think as it was then, got some funding from the state government to provide come and try sessions around Victoria in an effort to raise the profile of the game.
Sure.
We had a couple of, or 2 or 3 come and try sessions down on the Bellarine Peninsula, and over that 3 or 4 months or so, we recognised that there was a decent amount of people, and so we decided to form a club.
How excellent. That's fantastic. That was probably 20 years ago. So what does that make this year?
Yeah, that makes this year our 20th birthday. The club was formed in May 2004, so it's just passed, but so we're going to have a celebration on our new petanque terrain on the 19th of October as part of an open day come and try triples comp.
That's absolutely fantastic. So you've got a competition planned. It's a triples competition. Is that on My Petanque, or is this something you're just running through the club itself?
Yeah, no, through the club. So we're taking registrations on our website, which is on the RevSport platform.
Okay, tell us more about that.
Yeah, we set up a website, and it's primarily a way for us to communicate with the members and to maintain our register of members, email addresses and all that sort of stuff. But we can also take online applications for membership of the club, and that's proved to be a very simple way for people to sort of get in contact with us and join the club. So it's really good. Their website operating systems is able to be modified to put in your colours and banners and logos and all that sort of stuff. So, and I'm associated with 2 or 3 other clubs. They're also on that platform. So is the PFA itself.
Right.
Yeah, that all makes sense.
Excellent. So if our listener out there wants to get involved in the day and wants to make up a team and come down, what's the best way for people to get involved on the day?
We send out a flyer to all the secretaries of all of the clubs in Victoria. In a lot of cases, I think that flyer's been printed out and put it up on notice boards or distributed to other members. So the basic information about what's happening on the Saturday the 19th of October is all there. We're starting at 9, going through to about 5:30 thereabouts, using the Swiss system.
Right.
So there's no finals, just that ranks all the teams according to how they went. People can just Google Bellarine Petanque. Our website will come up. It's a nice green website with a yellow-tailed black cockatoo is our logo. If you find a cockatoo, you'll find us.
Okay, that's excellent. And is there plenty of parking for them? You mentioned before when you're at the yacht club car park, it was a bit difficult with passing traffic. What about now where you're located?
No, there's plenty of parking. So because it's triples, we'll have a maximum of 66 people, but some of those people I know are coming over on the ferry from Sorrento to Queenscliff, and we'll be picking them up in the QVTC minibus to bring them up to play and delivering them back to the ferry at the end. So,
well, that's an excellent bonus.
You don't have to bring your car. If you want to come in from the other side, you can come by boat.
That is a fantastic situation. Is there going to be food and other things available when you're there?
Club will provide tea and coffee and some biscuits and a birthday cake, which we'll cut at lunchtime. But we're also doing a bit of a sausage sizzle, I should say. So just some sausages and chicken schnitzels in a roll or in a piece of bread and a bit of delight. So pretty basic barbecue lunch. All that food is included in the entry fee for the day, which is $10 per person.
Fantastic. And it sounds like if you do get fully booked out, we could still come along and enjoy the day anyway.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, I mean, the venue's only about 100 metres from the Rip Beach at Queenscliff, so there's plenty to see. We're right next to the Queenscliff Fort. Yeah, so there's plenty to sort of have a look at within easy walking distance of where we're going to play. Yeah, and the other thing too is that we'll be running a raffle on the day, an obligatory raffle. You got to have a raffle these days.
Of course you do.
With lots of donated prizes. Yeah, like for 3 tickets for $5 and 7 tickets for $10. Something like that.
It sounds like you've got the whole day organised really well, and I believe, including the weather, is that right? You're guaranteeing a perfect playing day.
Look, I think we might have a bit of wind, but I don't think we'll have too much rain. Let's see how we go.
Fantastic. And when do registrations close for those that want to actually play on the day, Bernard?
Look, registrations are open right up until 9 o'clock in the morning.
Fantastic.
Essentially, so you can rock up on the morning and register.
Excellent, Bernard. Congratulations on your club attaining its 20th anniversary. That's just brilliant. Congratulations on getting a permanent location. And I wish you all the very best for Saturday the 19th. And people know where to get in touch with you. Look for the Black Cockatoo. I love that. Yep. And I just wish I could be there with you, Bernard.
I'm sure you'll be able to make your way down some other time, Rex.
Yeah, look, I'll do that. I notice you practice a few times during the week, don't you?
We have come and try sessions and a club practice session every Friday afternoon from 2 o'clock until 4 o'clock. And then we like to knock off early at 4 o'clock so we can have a few nibbles and a few drinks in the bar.
How sensible that is.
Yeah, it allows for sharing of lots of information and getting to know people really well.
Sounds great. Bernard, thanks again for your time today and letting us all know about the 20th anniversary celebrations you're going to have on Saturday the 19th of October at your club's venue, which is exactly where?
It's at 118 Hesse Street in Queenscliff, in the grounds of the Queenscliff Bowls, Tennis and Croquet Club.
Fantastic. Bernard, thank you once again. Look forward to seeing you sometime in the future on the piece. You take care.
Okay, many thanks, Rex. Ciao.
Found a fantastic series of short training videos on YouTube by the world champion of pétanque, Sylvain Dubreuil. The main attraction and difference with these training videos is that they go not much longer than 1 minute. By their very nature, then, they are simple and concise, yet full of excellent information. There are over 30 instalments, covering the very basics to mental agility and how to make those left and right curves on the piece, which I try to do, but very dangerously. These productions come under the Creative Commons licence, so I'm able to give a sample on this platform. The series can be found in French, but there is a version with English voiceover. They are videos, and we are not. But here is a sample of what they sound like.
Mental toughness is hugely important in pétanque, just like in all other sports. How can you improve it? You can do that in 3 stages: before the competition, during the competition, and after the competition. So, before the competition, what concrete things can I do to improve my mindset? Above all, during your training, reproduce the same conditions that you will have on match day. In addition, if you can do a little sport to boost your fitness, it can only help. During the competition, you're going to have 3 tools available: concentration, visualization, and breathing. And finally, after the competition, I do a self-analysis of my positive and negative points in order to give me stuff to work on during my next training session. That way, I've come full circle to improve my mindset. Right, whatever happens, stay in the top frame of mind. Come on, let's have another round.
I'll try to squeeze another in later. This article was from Sport Integrity Australia, SIA, and was published on the 12th of September 2024. As one of the oldest sports to exist, Petanque is focused on ensuring that integrity education is at the forefront of what they do to ensure fairness and safety across the sport. Sport Integrity Australia has worked closely with the Petanque Federation Australia Board to support the implementation of the National Integrity Framework and embedding it across the sport. For example, the PFA recently hosted the 2024 Interstate Challenge on the Gold Coast, which saw representative teams from around the country duke it out for a shot at the finals. The event provided the opportunity for SAA Sports Partnership Manager Emma Lappin to connect with those within the sport responsible for embedding the National Integrity Framework, NIF. It was wonderful to interact with the Petanque Federation of Australia Board and members to gain some insight into how the National Integrity Framework and education resources offered by SIA are supporting the sport, Emma said. It was great to be on the ground to support and answer questions on what the day-to-day operational requirements of the NIF are and what they mean for the sport overall. The PFA is managed entirely by a volunteer board with no paid staff who are working tirelessly to ensure that integrity is prioritised across the sport. New leadership within the sport has played a major role in creating positive cultural change and championing integrity. Naz Saunders, who holds a dual role within the PFA as Board Director and National Integrity and Complaints Manager, maintains the portfolio and requirements for the implementation of the National Integrity Framework. Naz attended the National Integrity Manager Network Forum in Melbourne earlier this year and said she was able to take away learnings to help operationalise the policies. On the back of this training, PFA invited SIA to the Gold Coast finals to ensure sport is fair, safe and inclusive for all involved. PFA's key focus over the past few months has been bringing the Integrity Education Plan to life, with boarded officials completing the required and recommended SIA e-learning modules, Naz said. To learn more about the National Integrity Framework and to support your sport, look up National Integrity Framework, Sport Integrity Australia. My dog ate a whole bag of Scrabble tiles, so I took him to the vet. No word yet. Wallis and Futuna, officially the territory of Wallis and Futuna Islands, is a French island collectively in the South Pacific, situated between Tuvalu to the northwest, Fiji to the southwest, Tonga to the southeast, Samoa to the east, and Tokelau to the northeast. And why should that be of interest to the Petanque enthusiast? Well, the Oceania Championship will be hosted by Wallis and Futuna on the 16th to the 19th of October 2025. Wallis and Futuna previously hosted the championship in 2013. Look it up now. It's a long paddle, that's for sure. It's been some time since we've had words from the South Island, so I gave a call to Robin Dando to find out about their latest competition at Bayside. Ready, Robin?
Would you like me to go ahead?
I would like you to let it rip. Please do. We'd like to find more out about this all in the scrum.
Oh, no, all in one scrum or whatever it is.
Yep.
So in the dim, dark annals of Bayside's history, as in way back when, there were not enough members to have gender competitions. So instead it was everybody plays in the all-in scrum. Now, of course, Bayside has a very healthy membership now and holds hard-fought gender singles comps in January. But the all-in scrum is still a much-loved competition. It's the camaraderie, the fun, respect, and we're not playing for sheep stations atmosphere, which appeals to Baysiders, who are ever ready to have a go and pit their skills against one another. After a week of atrocious weather, the weather druid eyed the skies and rattled the bones, read the runes, and cautiously gave the go-ahead for Saturday. Collective breaths were held as day dawned, and then let out again as mellow sunshine welcomed us to the feast. The troops, Equipment Officer Mr. M, Teresa, Martin, David, Terry, Shane, Jennifer and Graham put up the shelter, and Vanessa, Anne, Sue, Ma readied the admin stuff. The field was small, but the talent was mighty on this particular day. Excitement built as the games were drawn, and with the triangle clanging, they were off. There was an absolute upset in the first game when Joe, the giant killer, trounced Terry. Woohoo! One for the women of Bayside. And did Joe give Terry heaps? She sure did, even to the point of him going on his knees, lauding Joe's superior skills. It was laughs all round in the nicest possible way, of course. After 3 rounds of this wonderful game, every player had at least one win under their belt. The weather druid played with skill and panache, his tactics worthy of his druidship, and won all his games, the only player to do so, with a delta score of plus 16, a smidgen of druid magic there. David was second with 2 games and plus 16. Joe, Teresa and Terry also won 2 games, but with lesser delta scores. So well done to everyone, particularly to Teresa, who was a very new member of the club. What excitement there was, because for the first time in years, there was going to be a new name on the trophy, as the Weather Druid and David battled it out in the grand final. Well done to you two. Congratulations on games brilliantly played. The grand final was an absorbing contest. Weather Druid and David amazing the cheer squad with their skill and tenacity. The final score is not indicative of how hard fought the match was. The sheer concentrated effort by both players and the brilliant sportsmanship displayed by David and the Weather Druid. Even on the sidelines it was exhausting. The final score was David 13, Weather Druid 5. The crowd went wild, super happy for David, who, for after years of making the beautiful hue and pine trophies for Bayside, he was finally taking one home, winning his first major competition. And cheers for the Weather Druid for a fine fighting game. President Sue, still with a crook arm, made the presentations, and the winners' smiles could not have been broader. Thank you to the backup team and to Anne for the photos. Until next time, may your bulls fly straight, the cautious land where you intend, and above all, enjoy the game.
Well, Robin, that was just fantastic.
Okay. Yeah, okay, that's great then, Rex. So hope it goes all right.
All right. Thanks very much, Robin. You take care. Here's another training video.
Is your breathing important in pétanque? Well, yes it is, because pétanque is a game of skill that can sometimes be stressful, especially when you have an important boule to play. So how do you get this breathing right? Simply by breathing in deeply for 5 to 6 seconds, starting from the chest and swelling the abdomen at the end. Then breathe out slowly and progressively to evacuate the stress. Do this breathing movement a few times before going to play. And the benefit of this breathing will be that you'll be a lot calmer when you play and a lot more effective. Come on, let's have another round.
Now, I did say that I would introduce a number of interesting facts about champagne in each of these episodes. Nothing to do with pétanque other than I like champagne. Here's a couple of very interesting facts. There are 300 million bottles of champagne produced every year. That's a lot of bubbles. Out of that figure, around 180 million bottles are exported. In the year 2021, the UK was the second biggest consumer of champagne with 22.6 million litres. That was just behind the French, who consumed 102.2 million litres of champagne in total. A standard bottle of champagne contains about 49 million bubbles. According to the scientist Bill Lembeck, there are approximately 9,800,000 bubbles in a glass of champagne and 49 millions in one 750ml champagne bottle. For an average glass, they can emerge at a rate of approximately 30 bubbles per second. That's a lot of fizz and gives champagne its characteristic bubbly texture that we all know and love. One more. A champagne cork can reach 24.8 miles per hour when popped. This is due to the fact that champagne is under a lot of pressure, which pushes the cork out when the wire cage is removed. So, make sure you always point the cork away from yourself and others when opening the bottle to avoid accidents. Well, thank you, dedicated listener. Hope to see you on the Bellarine Peninsula. Don't forget to count the champagne bubbles when you're celebrating. And if you or your club have anything that needs to be shared, don't hesitate to contact me at audiorexy@gmail.com. audiorexy@gmail.com. Now that I've stepped down as president of the Camberwell Petanque Club, I'll have more time to endeavour to bring out Petanque Points podcast on a more regular basis. So tune in next time. If I can tie him down, we'll hear from Louis Tatooey, plus lots more. Oh, and to the guy who invented zero, thanks for nothing. Rex out.
You're a good man, Rex.